The Locker Room, with all the sports news you need, live.
Hello, welcome to another episode of The Locker Room. It must be Friday again. So we're here on The Locker Room on Independence Live. I'm joined by my usual two co-hosts, my wonderful co-hosts. Well, that's what it says here anyway. Or maybe I'm reading the wrong script. I don't know. Graham and Stephen, how's it going, guys?
Good.
Good. Good stuff. I wasn't expecting that very short answer, but thanks anyway for that. I was expecting you to say, yeah, well, I had a no bad week. The weather was a bit terrible outside, but anyway, short's good for me. We're on until 7 o'clock. Keep your I was going to say keep your comment coming in, but we've only started the show, so get your comments in. We're on YouTube, and tonight, yes, you've heard it, we're on Facebook as a one-hit wonder. So hopefully that will work as well, and also we're on Twitter as well. So as I say, we're here until 7 o'clock, and we're going to look ahead to this weekend's, as we say, Scotland football, and we're also going to look at the championship game tonight as well. And I might tell you where I was today, actually, if you want to go down tomorrow or tonight or Sunday even. But anyway, let's begin at the beginning. That would make sense. And so just a bit of news that happened about 20 minutes ago. No, Graham, it's not because I came back to the house in plenty of time to do the show, right? But it was because Mark Lawwell has resigned from Celtic. And your reaction to that, Graham?
Yeah, I didn't actually see that coming, but I think, given our group chat, I think a few Celtic fans are happy with that, to be honest. I don't think recruitment at Celtic has been overly impressive. You know, I think a lot of people are not happy with the summer window and the January window. Although, having said that, they did bring in Adam Ida, who's made a massive, massive difference. So, who's Celtic getting now will be a big, big question. I know some Celtic fans are now saying sack the big man as well, Peter Lawwell. I don't know that'll happen. But yeah, it was a bit of a surprise today. The timing of it was a bit surprising.
Yeah, what about you, Stephen? What were you surprised about the timing at 4:45 on a Friday night?
Yeah, it's surprising, but I mean, they've not had the greatest of windows, as Graham said. There's been a lot of unrest among Celtic supporters, but again, fresh start, chance of them getting somebody new in. We've heard about the money that they've got in the bank as well, so it gives them a chance to appoint somebody new in, and Celtic fans will be hoping that they spend it.
Couple of comments here already, guys. One from our new signing. We signed him as a Ronnie because they can't sign him now. The transfer window shut, Graham. So we signed him on loan until maybe next Sunday. Mikey, he says, "Hi guys. I like when people tell us they can't make the show, right, because it feels as though we're important. Maybe not. So he says, "Hi guys, I actually can't watch it tonight." How no? He's watching EastEnders. No, he says, but just wanted to come on and say hello, and I hope you're well. So that's good. And you'll see Mikey next week on the show. Hopefully, if he passes the fitness test, Graham had to go over a bleep test and all that to get on the show. Stephen had to. I don't know what he did to
my
me here.
My bleep test was a swearing test. That was my bleep test to make sure I didn't do it.
You must have been bagging the previous life, mate. And Hasper Scambler says, "Yeah, I thought this was the Athletics Championships in Glasgow." Well, did you see me today? No, maybe not. And Gregor on YouTube was saying afternoon, guys. So afternoon, maybe evening to you actually, because I like to follow the time and all that. Afternoons between 1 and 5 and 5 till midnight evening. But anyway, hey ho. We'll look back on the week's games. Just to tell you guys as well that put it in your diary that Rangers has got a big game coming up on Thursday night, and believe it or not, yes, we'll be here. If you don't fancy watching Question Time, we'll have all the answers for you here. Did you like that one, Grim? Yeah, cool. Benfica against Rangers. The kickoff is 8 o'clock. The show time is at 10 o'clock, and the second leg of the Rangers Benfica game is 6:45 kickoff, actually. So that means we'll be on at 8 o'clock a week on Thursday. So get that put in your diaries right now, okay? And we'll talk about Rangers in a wee bit as well. But Graham, let's begin with the Edinburgh Derby on Wednesday night. I spoke to you last night about the game, and you weren't overly surprised about the way that the game turned out. The game finished 1-1, but I mean, as I said to you last night, I think Hearts were very lucky to get a point out of that game.
We were very fortunate. Now, after the game last week against Rangers, to bounce back from a 5-0 defeat, I thought this is a perfect game to come back to. A derby at Tynecastle, under the lights, big crowds, and I thought we'd start the game a lot quicker than we usually do, and we didn't. We were very, very flat, very, very poor. I thought Hibs started a lot better than us, had decent chances. They get the goal through Marcondes, poor defender from Hearts, but then we didn't really have a reaction. I thought we dominated 50 minutes possession-wise, but all St Hibs did was just sit back and defend. But they knew just give us possession, we'd do a lot with it. And to be fair, we didn't. And then we get the penalty. And I said at the time, and I've said on different videos, it was never a penalty. I think that was very, very soft. There is contact, but I think Vargas goes down too easily. Now, when Kevin Clancy goes to the monitor, I think like most folk, I was expecting him to change his mind and go no penalty. When he gave it, I was surprised, but happy. Shankland puts it away and we 1-1 at half-time, and I thought we were very fortunate. Second half, I thought, right, we'll come out better second half. We'll really take the game to Hibs. But again, it didn't happen. I mean, the second half was more open, I thought. Both teams had chances, but Hibs had more chances than us. And I think Hibs must be disappointed they've not taken 3 points from the game, because we were very poor. Hibs were far better than us. The laddie Maluda looks a really good player. I thought Marcondes looked decent. I thought Hibs had the best players in the park, to be fair. And all I can say is the only positive I can take is the fact we didn't get beat. And the fact we went 12 points ahead of Kilmarnock when they lost to Rangers. So that's the only positive I can take. But I thought Hearts were very poor and the Hibs were far better than us in the day.
Yes, Stephen. No arguments about the penalty. I don't know about your take on the penalty, but it was very, very, I don't know how many verys I can get into this sentence, but very soft.
It's never a penalty kick, never mind very, very soft, Graham. I'm sorry to say that. I know you're a Hearts supporter, but that's another one on Crawford Allen's list of mistakes that seem to be racking up every week.
Only 4.
It's the fact that the referee's been sent to the screen to look at it, hasn't he? And he's come back and he's still decided penalty kick. I mean, come on, man. What's happening in the game if that's a penalty kick? It's crazy. It's crazy. And you know what happens when Shankland steps up? He tucks it away, catches a pie. Job done. Not I mean, but as well as saying that, can I just say some of the objects thrown at Lawton Shankland, there's no place for that in football.
Yeah,
I don't care who you play for. I don't want to see that anywhere. This is a guy that's just out there doing his job, and by the way, he's doing his job very, very well. Best striker in the league. And to see some of the objects, I think it was a bottle opener that was thrown at him. There was talk about an armament as well. It's ludicrous, and I'm not pinning it on a set of supporters. It's just individuals who have no place in the football stadium. The team they support has nothing to do with us.
There was also earpods chucked. Who brings their earpods and chucks them on the pitch? Seriously, what is the point in that?
Expensive. It's an expensive loss. I would have picked them up and put them in, see if they were playing any tunes during the game.
Bob the Builder.
Played with them on, but no. Seriously, no place for it in football whatsoever. I mean, I think we've seen previous, and I'm sorry it is Hibs again, but it's just one that's popped into my mind. I think there was a Belfast bottle chucked at James Tavernier at one game when they played Rangers there. It's just, these guys are just human beings that are doing a job. All right, we might not like the teams that they play for, but come on, there's a line. And it's well over it.
Graham, we try to promote the game on this show, and other shows that we watch as well. But like, I don't think we'll get the same amount of coverage if fans are bringing bottles into the games and I don't know what else was fun. But yeah, I mean, you must ask the question: what are the stewards doing?
Nothing but looks of it. I mean, I can understand you can obviously bring coins and stuff into the game, but I mean, how are you bringing a bottle opener? Seriously, stuff like that. I just don't get it.
And a pie.
I mean, listen, fair play to Shanklin for picking up the pie and eating it. God knows what it was. If it was steak pie, mince pie, whatever it was. But fair
it was
play
spicy, so it might have been one of
wasn't it? It was a good catch as well. I mean, is there anything that boy can't do? Scores a penalty and catches a pie. Brilliant, fantastic. What a guy! But no, there is no place for it. It is getting ridiculous. It's a derby game. I know the passions are high, but there is no need for it. Stephen says it's folk out there doing a job. There is no need for it. There's no place for it. But it does happen far too often, I think. Players on the pitch should be safe. It's their place of work. They shouldn't be getting assaulted with stuff like that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, but was it last season? Like Joe Hart was at Ibrox and he refused to go on the goal because there was pieces of grass lying on the park and all that. And a few years ago, I think they had they think about 10 beer bottles inside Ibrox after one of the Glasgow derbies. No, they play, and that's no football fans, Stephen. That's just what you would say, hooligans,
mindless individuals, crazy. It just shows you. Like, I know people are passionate about their clubs, man, but come on, you're endangering people's livelihoods here. And I know a bottle opener might not have killed them, but it's like they shouldn't be going to the place of work, as Graham says, with that danger. I mean, you see it in stands as well. I mean, I'm going to Ibrox tomorrow. It was a couple of games ago, that we were at Ibrox ago, where a Buckfast bottle was chucked into a crowd and it smashed just beside a wee girl. Now, how are these getting into football stadiums? The searching's evidently not good enough. I'll go on the record and say that I've managed to get drink into a football stadium before. I'll say that openly here. It's not good enough. And if it's in the wrong hands of the wrong people, that's the result. It's crazy.
So if the Glasgow police are watching, watch out for Stephen Rayside tomorrow when he turns up at Ibrox. You better search him, like.
Graham, talk about the game on the park. I know you're quite honest when you talk about the game, but I mean, how did Hibs not win that game on Wednesday night? Like millions of chances.
Because they don't have a proper striker. I think their top scorer is Ellie Yuan. We've got Shankland. Obviously only got the penalty, but he scored 26 goals this season. Ellie Yuan's got nowhere near that. That's the problem. They had plenty of chances. I mean, Hearts defended okay. They had a couple of efforts cut off the line as well, first half and second half. They had a chance at the back post late on through, I think it was Malouda that headed wide. They just didn't take their chances, and that's what's going to cost Hibs at the moment. That's 3 derbies this season now, and they've not won any of them. There's been 1 win for Hearts and 2 draws. They just don't take their chances. They've got a decent side there. I've been impressed with the new signings that they've made, but they just don't score enough goals. And that's the big thing. I didn't think Martin Boyle was great on Wednesday. I thought it was quite quiet. They don't have a goal scorer. Dylan Vente, didn't think he was great, to be honest. I thought Hibs defended very well. for all the stick that I've given Bashiri and Will Fish recently, I thought they handled Shanklin very well. We never got into our game, but Hibs just didn't. They weren't clinical enough. That's the big problem for them. They just didn't take their chances.
Obviously, Gregor was talking about Dundee. We got absolutely hammered by Celtic on Wednesday night, and we're going to move on to that game now, actually. So Hearts gets a point out of that game against Hibs, and then maybe I think they would go to their Glasgow rivals, Glasgow against Edinburgh, and them, where Hearts play Celtic at home now. Celtic will be buoyant by the performance that they had on Wednesday night, and it could have been more if in the first half, but and Hearts would need to bounce back. Okay, they got a point, but at home you're expecting Hearts to beat Hibs comfortably. Well, no comfortably, but basically have a difficult game. That wasn't the case, but do you think they will forget about this game now and concentrate on the Celtic coming on Sunday?
You know that I'm honest on this show, and I'll be honest again, I am now dreading Sunday. Now, up until last week, the Rangers game, we were on a decent run, 12 games unbeaten, but we started pretty much every game really slow. Celtic have now beaten Motherwell 3-1 and hammered Dundee 7-1. They're starting to find form at the wrong time for me. So I'm now worried about Sunday. They've got a guy in Adam Ida who's on form up front. Wednesday was one of these games where it seemed like everything they hit went in. I mean, obviously I was watching the Hearts game, but I had the flash scores on my phone for all of the games. And my phone kept pinging every 10 minutes with a Celtic goal. Saw the highlights later on. And Dundee didn't defend very well. I mean, pretty much all the goals are really poor goals for Dundee to lose. But fair play to Celtic. They were absolutely brilliant. 6-0 up after 45 minutes is a brilliant scoreline. Second half, obviously, they've been switched off a little bit and only got the third goal after 63 minutes. But they were just ruthless. And I am concerned for Sunday. We have to start the game well. This is one game we have to start well. If Celtic score early, then I think it could be 4 or 5. We've got to start a lot better than we did against Hibs and against Rangers. But I am worried because Celtic are starting to find form now. I think there's a chance that Callum McGregor might be out, which is good for us because we can't allow a guy like him to dominate the game, which he's capable of. But I do have the fear for this game because it does seem that Celtic are hitting form now, and I am worried now.
Stephen, how big a blow would that be if McGregor's out for not only tomorrow, Sunday's game, but the rest of the season?
It's a blow. It's a blow. No question. It's a blow.
And for Scotland as well.
Yeah. But I'm going to put a different spin on it to the Graham's put on it. I don't think it's them coming into form as such. I think it's the return of key players for them in the back line that's allowing them to dominate the game in possession more often. I think you see it with the first half performance for Motherwell. We were all over them in a sense in the first half on Sunday, created numerous chances, and then Cameron Carter-Vickers comes on, and you don't get a sniff. We were under the cosh from that moment on, and I just think it's huge. I'm having him back, having Johnson, having Taylor, and I believe that Frankie Kent is injured for Hearts on Sunday, so that's a huge loss for them. You can talk about Celtic missing McGregor, but what Celtic have is they have a squad capable of bringing somebody else in. Frankie Kent's huge for Hearts, and I worry for them on Sunday.
Graham, how crucial is it for Celtic now to have it's going to be a blow if McGregor misses out the game on Sunday? It's not confirmed yet, but how big a boost is it for Carter-Vickers to be in the team, and also Alistair Johnson as well? And I think they've actually found a goal scorer up front, Adam Ida.
It's massive having Carter-Vickers back as a leader in that back line, which Celtic really lacked. You can see the difference that he makes to that Celtic side. He's a brilliant defender, and he does make a massive difference. Alistair Johnson as well coming into form, and Adam Ida so far has been really good. I think a lot of Celtic fans, when Ida signed, looked at his goal scoring record and thought, maybe he's not great, but he started to score goals for them. That game last week, he turned that game on its head. He's scoring again on Wednesday. He's going to be a massive threat. And as Stephen rightly says, we've got Frankie Kent out, who has been one of the signings of the season so far for me. Potentially could miss the next couple of games. So he could miss Morton in the Cup next week, which is a big blow, and then Ross County the week after. So it's a massive, massive blow. I can see Hearts doing what we did at Celtic Park, go with the three at the back again. I'm not a massive fan of it, but I think it's what he'll do because it worked the last time. But we have to be in Celtic's faces right for the start. We can't let them settle. We've got to start like Motherwell did last week. But Celtic coming with players back is a massive, massive boost. And if, as I do expect, Rangers to win tomorrow against Motherwell, they'll go 5 points clear. So Celtic no going to a game at Tynecastle, they have to win. So it's a big game for both teams, I think. I've seen some Hearts fans say, Sunday's a free hit for Hearts. In a way it is, because we're so far clear. But I do worry that if Celtic score early and score the first goal, we could be in for a long afternoon.
Stephen, I know Greg made the comment in the chat on YouTube. Thanks for commenting. He says we get absolutely hammered on by Celtic on Wednesday night. Were you surprised the score of that game, even at half time?
Yeah, I mean, I think they all thought the Celtic were going to win the game. But to be 6-0 up at half time, cruising, I don't think anybody could have seen that coming. I mean, I know Dundee have a goal chopped off at 5-0, Curtis Main, that was very, very dubious as well. It wouldn't have changed the outcome, but you can file that under Crawford's list again of decisions that I think they got wrong. So we'll start piling them up on here and keep my account so everybody's right. But no, and a bit out of character for Dundee to be down so heavily in the first half, because I think they've had a good season. But you look at it now, Motherwell have got the same amount of losses as Dundee and St Mirren. So it shows you where our issue's been, and that's the fact that we've drew too many games. We're only 3 points off Dundee now. We've got a really tough game tomorrow, but I think we're in the hunt for the top 6, believe it or not, which is absolutely crazy. But Dundee, disappointing result, and we're hoping to bounce back again this weekend.
Do you think that a lot of people were saying on Sunday, and because Celtic won, there was Gregor Puckett, the hammered Dundee on Wednesday night. Do you think Celtic was boosted by kind of like the 2 late goals in the game against Motherwell? And by the way, Motherwell put a lot of effort into that game, and I'm surprised Motherwell never went 2-0 up at half time. But as you know, football's a fun old game.
There's moments in a season that you look at, Michael, and at the end of it and go, that was when it all turned. And that could be a moment for Celtic. As much as it pains me to say it, those 2 late goals against Motherwell, because you see the way they reacted against Dundee, and it's brilliant. If they go and deal with Hearts this weekend, they've only got one more league game before they go to Ibrox. So Sunday's a test for them. If they get past Sunday, they can be going into Ibrox with you'd imagine with some momentum, because you'd imagine they'll beat Livingston in the Cup and take care of St Johnstone at home in the league afterwards before they go to Ibrox. So yeah, I think it was huge for them. I think there's moments that you look at in the season, and the 2 late goals at Motherwell, certainly, unfortunately, and I don't mean that in terms of Celtic being in the title race, I just mean in the sense that I'm a Motherwell supporter. Unfortunately, it gets them late back in the title race.
We could be a bit different game on Sunday for Hearts game, knowing that the game's at Tynecastle. I mean, it wouldn't matter then because they beat Celtic in December, but you would have, when the old firm plays either Murrow or Hearts, you would want the game to be at home because you've got a better, I wouldn't say you had a better chance, but you've got a wee bit of an advantage because of the support as well. Because Celtic's going to have a wee pocket of fans, and Hearts are going to. I don't know if Hearts is sold out the allocation for Sunday, but do you think Hearts will be up for this game?
We better be. So like I say, we have to be. If we're not up for this game, there's a problem. I think I've seen a lot of Hearts fans say, "Oh, we didn't look up for it on Wednesday." I don't think that's the case. We just didn't start well enough, and have started better than us, which is a bit of a surprise. We have to start this game well. We can't afford to let Celtic dictate the game and dominate it. We've got to be in the faces right from the start, like Motherwell were last week. I mean, our form against Celtic and Rangers over the last few years has been pretty pathetic, to be honest. We won at Celtic Park, which was a surprise. Celtic weren't great that day, as we well know, but they have got a bit better recently, these last few results. So we have to, we have to be up for it this week. I think we will be, but the quality that Celtic have got, if Celtic play the way that they can, then their quality should shine through. I just hope that Hearts can match that. And again, we didn't have many chances on Wednesday. But if we get chances, there's every chance that Shankland will take at least one. I mean, that's him there on 26 goals this season, which is ridiculous. I did a thing yesterday that I put on Twitter. I was basically counting the goals and all that stuff that Hearts have scored this season. We scored 54 goals in all competitions this season. Lawrence Shankland's got 26 of them. Now, if somebody did ask me, where would Hearts be without Shankland? Probably in the bottom six, if I'm honest, because our next top goal scorer is Kenny Vargas on 6. So it just goes to show how much having a top goal scorer you really rely on. But again, I said this the other day as well, that if you take any team's top scorer out of the team, then they're going to look a lot weaker. But generally, without Shankland, we are definitely not sitting third in this league. Like I just said there, 54 goals and 26 of them have come from Shankland.
And just before we move on to the Rangers game, if you just tuned into the show, where have you been? If you're late to the show, you should send an email, and that's what we're going to do from now on, right? Mark Lowell has stood down after 2 years as Celtic head of first team scouting the recruitment, and that story broke about an hour ago before we came on air. So there you go. Hearts against Celtic, 12 o'clock kickoff on Sunday. Of course, we'll be on after the game, reviewing all the games, including the game that we're just going to talk about. And Stephen's going to go there tomorrow. It's Rangers against Motherwell at Ibrox. After you're coming off of an okay performance against Celtic, okay, you get beat, but I think I don't know if you could take a bit of heart from the first half performance, but also Wednesday night's win against Libby as well, coming from behind to win 3-1, and then you go to Ibrox tomorrow, Stephen.
I go there really confident in it. Listen, I know that Graham was confident that Hearts doing something last week and they got absolutely annihilated 5-0. But I just think we've got a boy in the middle of the park that's special. He's special, Lennon Miller. I'm telling you, this boy can go. The sky's the limit for him in the game. He could play for. I think if he keeps going, he could be at Man United, Man City easily. I think he's that good. He's only 17. There was a ball that he zinged to Stephen O'Donnell. It was a 60-yard pass, and he put it right in his toe. He's phenomenal. You see his wee turn and then set up for the goal against Celtic for Blair Spittle, and he was instrumental when he dropped deeper against Livy in the second half. I think that we've got players up front that can hurt them as well. Jack Vale, Blair Spittle, Theo Baird. If we create chances for these guys, they can take them. But we're coming up against a Rangers side who are the informed team in the league, who have been unstoppable, who showed against Kilmarnock that they can grind out results, maybe when they're up against it a wee bit. So it's going to be really difficult, and we probably will get beat. But I think we'll scare them. I think we'll create a few chances, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Graham, it should be a good game on Sunday. Of course, Motherwell is I said, they should be proud of the first half performance. I know that you don't look back because they get beat actually, but Wednesday night I saw the highlights, and away from home coming back to win 3-1, and anywhere, it doesn't matter if it's Livingston or Real Madrid or whatever, you still got to come back and win the game. By the way, I was talking about fantasy football there, Stephen.
Just Levy and Real Madrid in the same sentence for me.
Yeah. Fantasy football on the PlayStation or PS7 or whatever it's up to now. I'm losing count. It comes out every day of the week. But so how does Motherwell approach this game tomorrow, Graham? Do they sit behind the ball or do they have a wee go?
I feel like I'm on a still game. Do you like the PlayStation? I like the PlayStation. No, listen, it was a great win for Motherwell on Wednesday. I thought they were really good last week. I managed to watch some of the game last week. I thought they were really good first half. Obviously, second half, as Stephen kind of mentioned, they got penned in a little bit. And I kind of knew that Celtic would end up scoring. It was going to happen. But that was a big win on Wednesday for them. To go 1-0 down to Livingston and then come back like that. Obviously, the ex-Jambo Sam Nicholson got his first goal, which is great to see. But yeah, I mean, it's a big result for Motherwell. Now, they're going up against a really good team in Rangers just now. But, Motherwell are not in too bad form. What I will say about the Kilmarnock Rangers game, though, and again, I know we're going to do the VAR show at some point, but yet again, I think the decisions in that game that are wrong. I think Diamande is very, very lucky not to get sent off for the pullback, because if he doesn't pull the jersey, the guy's going right through and he's going to get there before Jack Butland does. So I think that's a red card, genuinely. And I watched the sports scene highlights, and one of the guys said, maybe just let go at the right time. Sorry, for me, that's a send off. He's pulled him back and stopped him getting to that ball first. It's a send off. And I also think there's a penalty in the second half for Kilmarnock as well that Rangers got very fortunate with. Yeah. So I think there's decisions in that game that Kilmarnock are very unfortunate not to get. Yet again, VAR lets us down. But yeah, it'll be a decent game tomorrow, I think. Again, what Motherwell will have to do is not do what Hearts did last week and fall apart after a minute and lose the first goal. If Motherwell keep it tight, they do have threats there. Lennon Miller, they've got Nicholson, they've got Theo Bear. They do have threats there, but they've got to keep it tight early and keep themselves in the game for as long as they can.
I mean, Stephen, I keep going back to the Celtic game last week, and okay, obviously we know the final score, but can you take any heart out of the first half performance and maybe put it into a 90-minute performance tomorrow?
Well, seen it. We got the first half performance against Celtic, and we get the second half performance against Livy. So hopefully we can put the two of them together tomorrow and get a 90-minute performance against Rangers. But I put a tweet out at half time in the Celtic game, and I didn't mean this sarcastically. It was the easiest 45 minutes I've had against anybody in the league. It really was. I thought Theo Bear's just offside with the disallowed goal as well. It's very, very tight. The Fir Park VAR camera angles coming into play again, which seemed to be parked in Strathclyde Park, never been Fir Park, but aye, huge positives. I mean, we've scored the most goals out of the Old Firm. If we want to repeat that stat every week now, but it's true, we have. Same losses as Dundee and St Mirren. It's just been draws this season, so we seem to be coming into a bit of a game. I just hope that we can keep it tight defensively, because it's been a big question mark as how we defend cross balls and set pieces. So we need to keep it tight. Put in a good performance defensively tomorrow. And keep it tight. We've got every chance. But I don't know.
You spoke about the Celeron, Stephen. You spoke about the Celeron, Stephen, in the season, where we were talking about the fact that Motherwell had gone 15 games without a win, and you talked about the league. And again, I was looking at the table before it came on. You're like 3 points off the top 6. I mean, given that run you were on, it just, again, you talked about the fact that the league is not that great. The fact you're only 3 points off the top 6 is mental.
It's ludicrous. It's ludicrous. It shouldn't happen. It should not happen. I even seen some people alluding to the fact that this poor Hearts side sit third in the league is a sad indictment of the league. But I don't think Hearts have been that bad. Certainly towards the start of the season, I think they were poor, but they picked up recently. But no, it's a poor league. Don't get me wrong. There's great players within that league. David Watson, Lyle Cameron, Lennon Miller, all great young prospects. But overall, it's very, very mediocre to what I watched when I was a child. I mean, I remember Motherwell teams that I go back to the team Humphrey, Law, Higdon, Murphy, or Hutchison, Randolph. What a team that was. And we don't seem to have able to attract that caliber of player anymore. And I think it's shown. But put them in a shout top 6. And we might not win tomorrow, but I'm confident that we can go unbeaten after tomorrow between then and the split. Because Aberdeen, the wheels have fell off them a wee bit. They'll be looking behind their shoulder. I think with the games that we've got left, we can put a run together after Rangers.
We've not asked you this for a couple of weeks, Stephen, on the show. But as the fans back behind Stuart Kettlewell?
There's still some grumblings, but which is crazy to me. I don't actually think it's been. Now, I know we went 15 games without a win, right? I don't think it's been that bad. I don't think it's been that bad. I think there was, out of the 15 game run, I think there was 2 games, maybe 3 games that were atrocious. All the other games were tight. It was just individual errors costing us. So, as a manager, you can't account for that. I think I mean, I don't know if you've seen the tweet where he was going, "Come on, expletive, come on." I didn't kind of say it on here, but you can see what it meant to him getting the result. You can see that the players are behind him, and I have to say, I think the signing of Jack Vale after losing Mika Bereth has been a real find, and it's probably something that I think Motherwell are the best at out with any team outside the Old Firm, is finding replacements for strikers. They've done it so often, so often throughout my time supporting them, and it's getting the best out of strikers. Look at the turnaround in Theo Bear. We did the same with Tony Watt. I'd even argue that we brought Michael Higdon's game on another level when he came to us for St Mirren. So we seem to get the best out of players that come to us, and long may that continue.
Graham, as for Rangers, they will be going into the game buoyant after Wednesday night's game, but I'm a bit like you. I only saw the highlights, and I don't think Rangers were very convincing on that performance. I know Kamal had a chance right at the end of the game, but I was a bit like you. I thought Rangers should have been down to 10 men in that game.
Yeah, they weren't convincing. I thought Kilmarnock were very good. You know what you're going to get with Kilmarnock. I thought Danny Armstrong again was really good. Caused a lot of problems. But again, it's what Stephen said. They ground it out. That's what you've got to do at times. If you don't play that well, you've just got to grind it out. Decent free kick from Tavernier. As you know, he's capable of that. And then a decent finish from Tom Lawrence. But Kilmarnock had chances, which will be a bit of a worry for Clermont. But in the end, they've got the job done. And they had to win that game, I think. Obviously, they would have known what was happening. The Rangers fans would have known what was happening at Celtic Park. They were hammering Dundee. So they had to keep that win going. But they'll be looking forward to being at Ibrox tomorrow, getting a win against the Motherwell side, who again have kind of blown hot and cold. I do think Rangers will win tomorrow, but again, I keep talking about it. Motherwell have got to keep it tight. They can't do what we did last week and lose an early goal. Because if that happens, the heads might start to go down. But Rangers, I mean, they have been good under Clermont. They've only lost 1 league game, so they have done really well under him. The difference between a Clermont team and a Beale team is night and day. But if you have to grind it out, you have to grind it out. I genuinely think this title race could go down to the wire. It could be another helicopter Sunday. It's getting interesting. There's obviously 2 more games to come between Celtic and Rangers, so they could be massive. But they've got to get the job done tomorrow. Go 5 points clear, and then wait to see what happens on Sunday with Hearts against Celtic.
And I know that the game's over and all that, but what do you think of Rangers winning goal and at the end of the day by Tom Lawrence? The ref let the game go, and also the ball get put through David Dickinson's legs. That's not a joke, by the way, but he did. If you see it again, but what's your thoughts on that? Because usually when you see a free kick, when they play the ball early, the ref pulls it back. But in this case, he let the game go on, and they scored from that.
To me,
Are you asking me or Stephen?
Both of you.
You go, Graham.
at times I don't mind if the ref lets the game flow. You know, I think Kilmarnock could have defended that better, to be honest. They didn't really complain about it, so it's fair enough. Decent finish from Tom Lawrence, but I just keep going back to the fact that for me, and I keep on saying it, I think that it should have been a red card earlier on. If the guy doesn't get pulled back, he's going through on goal. Jack Butler's coming out, but the guy will get, I think Polworth will get to that first. For me, that's a sending off. It doesn't matter if he let go. He's still holding back and it stops him getting to that ball first. I think that's a red card. So I think Rangers got awful on there. And again, this is what my issue is. If the referee can't see that at the time, fine. If he's not out of place, fine. But VAR should be looking at it and going, by the way, I think you need to look at that because I think that's a red card. He's stopping the guy going through. You can see Diamandi's got hold of his shirt. It doesn't matter when he lets go. The fact is, he stops him getting to that ball first. If he gets that ball first, he's going to score. So I think that's a red card. I think they're very fortunate.
Yeah, I mean, because we look at everything else, but it doesn't matter because Rangers got the 3 points. Another job done for Philip Tremont. I saw that he was asked today at his media conference about the penalty incident that Kilmarnock scored, the handball rule, and they said that is a grey area, that is a grey zone. Yeah, so he's on in Scottish football for 2 minutes, and we've been watching it for years. So what chance? what chance has he got, Stephen? But anyway, so do you think it's just a matter of, taking off the games for Rangers at the moment until they? Well, I know people said that we go down to the 4 Glasgow derbies. I don't think that's fair because, you're taking away from Hearts, Motherwell, Dundee, Kilmarnock, and other teams as well. But do you feel as though that it's all about just getting the job done and getting to that game against Celtic at Ibrox, where I might add that Rangers has not beat Celtic, so that's another incentive for Rangers.
I think that's big, by the way. I think mentality plays a lot in football, and the fact that the Celtic have two wins over Rangers this season, I think that's big. But on the other hand, I seen a great point. I seen somebody make a fantastic point that it doesn't look like Aberdeen are going to be in the top 6. So that means then that Rangers don't need to go to Pittodrie again, which up there I don't think they'll get the best of records recently. So for me, I know that you're saying that it won't come down to the Old Firm games. I think it purely comes down to the Old Firm games. Celtic going away to Kelly will be interesting as well because we've seen how teams struggle on that plastic surface. That's me obviously assuming that Kelly are going to get top 6, which everybody is assuming that they will. Rangers have got to go away to Dundee and then at home to Hibs before they play Celtic again. The game against away Dundee, they get through that, then you can imagine on the Old Firm. But I do think it's big that Celtic have the 2 wins. I would like to hear Graham's take on that. Actually, Graham, do you think that's big, that the fact that Celtic beat Ibrox and won already this season and won at Celtic Park?
Yeah, I think so. It must have an effect. That'll be in Rangers' heads as well, that's happened already. But I think Rangers are a better team now because of those 2 games. They look a lot better. They look a lot more solid defensively. They've got threats going forward, although I do still think Dessler still misses far too many chances. I think Lundstrom looks decent in midfield. So I think Rangers have definitely got better. But the question that I would want to ask as well to both of you guys is, do you think it makes a massive difference that at the moment, and it will happen for another few weeks, I think, especially when Rangers play in Europe next week, do you think it makes a massive difference that both teams play on different days? Does that have an effect on what happens the very next day?
It'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, I think Rangers are away to Benfica, then it's the cup game, so that'll give you an indicator. And then they've got another away to Dundee after they play the second leg. So it'll be interesting to see what that takes out of Rangers playing Thursday, Sunday, because I do think that now, if you're a Rangers fan, would you sacrifice a run in the Europa League if it meant winning the league. I think at this point you do. I think at this
Yeah, I
point
think you would.
because I think
Yeah, you would.
It's getting to the point where Celtic are talking about the money that they've got in the bank. If Celtic win the league, the money that they're then going to get from the Champions League new format, then the more Celtic win league titles, I can see them getting miles ahead of Rangers. There you go. Because I don't think that Brendan Rodgers is the type of manager who will stay at a club if they're not spending. You see Matt Lawwell not at the club anymore. I think that Celtic next summer are going to go out and sign big. You've heard them talk, been linked with Kelleher for Liverpool. I'm expecting some signings to come in the door at Celtic Park because the fans simply won't accept it. And a Celtic up to 54 if they win this league title. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
54 if they win the league. So they're closing in on that 55 that Rangers clamour on about. In a few seasons, they could overtake them as the most successful club. And certainly in Scotland, I don't know if it's the world anymore because of Winfield. So I think Rangers need to win the league this season. Otherwise, you could see another period of Celtic dominance. Do you agree?
I just wonder, like, so obviously Rangers playing last week, they played the Saturday, Celtic playing the Sunday. Does it have an impact, the fact that Celtic knew that Rangers won last week, and then vice versa, if Celtic playing the Saturday, Rangers playing the Sunday?
Yeah.
Does that have an effect that they already know what's happened the day before? Does that have an impact?
I think so. I think it's huge. And then you've got the Old Firm game as well. It's I think it's the best title race I've had in a long time. It's great. It's brilliant.
I kind of know where you were going with that one, Graham, but as a football team, you want to win games no matter if Rangers are playing Monday or next Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever, or behind or kind of like in front. You're always going to go out to do a professional job. But yeah, I mean, I think it is because this is the Philip Clement's first taste of kind of that in terms of like, playing in front of Celtic as well. I mean, that Sunday won't count, but won't count for the league because it's a cup game. But I can see where Stephen's coming from because they go away to Hibs and a one-off. Basically, it's a cup final to get the semi-final, and you don't know who you're going to get in the semi-final if you're going to get there. Or maybe Hibs will beat them next week. We don't know that. But I do think that win for Celtic was a big win last week up at Fir Park. Although when if you spoke to me at half time, I would say the league's kind of over and they're kind of way. But Celtic put on a brilliant performance and scoring the two goals stood them in good stead for going into a game on Wednesday night at home as well against Dundee. But yeah, it's going to be quite interesting over the next couple of weeks because don't forget Rangers hasn't played in Europe since, was it December or maybe November? I can't remember. And now, and like they've got a bit of a gap now and going back into European football, so we can see how they adapt to it as well. But what I would say about them, I know we're not going to talk about the Benfica game now, but because we're going to speak about it more about Sunday, but I would say, I don't know about you guys, would you agree that Rangers fans would be happy that the first game's away from home so that you know what to do when you come back at Ibrox?
I think it's always a bonus having the first game away. So, as you say, so that you know what you need to do. But, I mean, the longer they go in Europe, we've seen it. We've seen it. The 2008 season where they got to the final in Manchester. They had this crazy schedule come the end of it. So for me, the longer they go in Europe, the tougher it becomes for them to win the league. So, I I don't know that. It'll be interesting to see how that pans out.
Graham?
No, I would agree. I think I'm the same when Hearts in Europe as well. I'd rather the first game is away from home, so we know what we've got to do back to Tynecastle. So I would agree. I think having the first leg away from home is a massive, massive bonus. And I think you've only got to look at it. Wasn't that long ago that Rangers were in a cup final in Europe when they played in Europe, and then they came back a few days later to beat Hearts in the Scottish Cup final, unfortunately. So they have had that opportunity to get to finals before. But I actually agree with Stephen. I genuinely think if you asked any Rangers fan now if they would sacrifice Europe for winning the league, I think they would say yeah. Because as much as winning the Europa League would be great, they've still got Liverpool in there. There's Bayer Leverkusen in there. There's good teams in Europe. They're not going to win it, I don't think. But they want to win the league and the money that comes with that. So I think if you could offer Rangers fans that chance and promise them that if they were knocked out of Europe against Benfica, they'd win the league, they would absolutely snap their hand off for that. I've got no doubt about that.
Paul Donaldson's commenting on Facebook. Hi, Paul. Hopefully you're well as can be at the moment as well. But so we're just going to move on to Aberdeen. He says, "Hi all. I don't know if you've discussed Aberdeen. No, we haven't actually, but we'll speak about it now. But I fear the worst for the club. Now I'll be interested to hear your comments on this, Paul, and also Graham and Stephen, because I said that if Aberdeen doesn't get this appointment right, I don't think they have so far. I think that you should look at Dave Cormack should be going as well, because that's basically 3 mistakes that he's made. And I mean, if you look at Graham, if you look at this season, and I think it was the season before last, they finished in the bottom 6. So that's like 2 seasons, you would say, that they finished in the bottom 6. And for a club a size of Aberdeen, they should never be there.
No, they shouldn't. It's the same as Hibs. They shouldn't be in the bottom 6 either. But Aberdeen are really struggling. I mean, they are in a relegation battle. I don't think it's possible, but they are. And the worst thing for Aberdeen fans as well, their next 3 games are away from home in the league. They've got St Mirren tomorrow, but then they're away to Kilmarnock as well, which ain't going to be easy. They've got really difficult games, plus they've got Kilmarnock in the Cup. These next 2 games are not going to be easy. Now, I did use the word box office to describe Neil Warnock. It really hasn't worked. Now, I looked at some stats earlier on. Bojan Majowski hasn't scored in the last 4 league games. Since Neil Warnock's come in, he's in the league. They've only scored 6 goals. They've conceded 11. The last win was on the 2nd of January against Ross County, which ironically is the last time they kept a clean sheet in the league. They are really, really struggling. They look really devoid of ideas. The worst thing as well, for me, I don't want to say this, and I know Paul's watching this, but for me, the worst thing is it looks like Neil Warnock is here for a busman's holiday. He doesn't look like he cares, which for me is a real worry. He's coming across as someone that doesn't really get what Aberdeen Football Club is. Aberdeen Football Club are a big, big seat and a big, big side. They've got a brilliant club there. They've got a fantastic support. They should not be where they are. And it feels to me like Neil Warnock has come here. He's had that bit of arrogance to think, I'll come here and sort this out, no problem. And it is failing big time. He doesn't get what it is to be at Aberdeen. And the worrying thing for me is his after-match interviews. Now, he said after the game the other day, he basically said, nobody will give us a chance to get St Mirren or Kilmarnock. If I'm an Aberdeen fan, I don't want to hear that. That's not positive. You've got to be positive. Talk your team up. And so far, Warnock's not done that. I think he even said, we might not win another game. Why are you saying that? Now, it's not like the Derek Adams thing where Adams has basically crucified everybody in Scottish football. This is Neil Warnock's club just now, Aberdeen. And he has come here and he's shown a major arrogance. I don't think he understands how big Aberdeen are. And he is failing massively. And you're right, Michael. You're absolutely right. Dave Cormack has got to take the blame for this. Because yet again, he's got it wrong. Barry Robson wasn't great, but he managed to get 3rd. Fortunately, because Hearts tucked it away. Stephen Glass didn't work. Jim Goodwin didn't work. This isn't working. Aberdeen are a mess. And this appointment, which I thought would be good, is not working. And like I said, I just think Neil Warnock comes across very arrogant and doesn't understand what Aberdeen Football Club is.
Stephen, do you think that Neil Warnock appointment was to get bums on seats for Aberdeen fans and just to maybe paper over the cracks for like a couple of weeks?
Well, we said.
Yeah, sorry, before you answer that, Stephen, sorry, I just saw that Paul was saying that the Aberdeen fans were saying sack the board on Wednesday night, and that was, a Cormac as well. So, what's your thoughts, Stephen? Sorry.
I just think that we said that when he signed Aberdeen, the box office compared it to Dick Campbell. Well, it might be box office, but it's turned into a disaster movie like A Day After Tomorrow, isn't it? It's been an absolute nightmare for Aberdeen. And I put a tweet out this morning. I said that it's no surprise that it's not been a great appointment. I might have said that it was box office, but that was more for his interviews. When you break it down, he doesn't know the Scottish game. He's nearing the end of his managerial career. I think he's come up here and he's thought, oh, it'd be brilliant to manage at places like Ibrox and Celtic Park and be able to go there. I mean, it's Scottish football up there.
Not got to go to Celtic Park this season.
I will, but maybe he thought he could get Aberdeen in the top six, you know what I mean? So
maybe if he goes for a tour.
But so he's probably thought, I'll go up there and sort it out, no problem. And to me, he's only on a deal to the end of the season, right? So where's the drive? He's not building anything. It's not as if he's building with a view to next season. He's there at the end of the season just to kind of see things through. And as Graham says, you hear his comments, Kilmarnock will be rubbing their hands, St Mirren will be rubbing their hands, and we'll be lucky to get anything. Everybody spoke about Derek Adams. He's just as bad in my eyes.
So what's the difference, Stephen? Sorry, what's the difference between him and Barry Robson then?
I actually think if you look at it on the surface, Barry Robson was kind of doing a better job.
Yeah.
I mean, we obviously stopped scoring. They've no swelled up the issue that they've got at the back, as Graham pointed out. The last time they kept a clean sheet was when they beat County. So it's really, really worrying. I mean, you hear people saying that they're worried for Aberdeen going down now. And it's a possibility. Don't think that any club's too big to go down. I seen another tweet that it's a possibility for the Dundee United v Aberdeen playoff final. Could you imagine that?
Yeah. Graham brings up this comment, and I was actually going to say this to you guys, right? Maybe this is for a different show, but we can touch upon it tonight, right? And Stephen made a comment about a busman's holiday a wee minute ago, and I think
that was me.
Okay, I'm going to give Stephen credit for that one, even though I was clear. Okay, but there is a bit of cliff on in that one, because I mean, for Celtic, you saw Robbie Keane coming up here. His career was ended. He said he was a big Celtic fan for years. He waited until he was about 15 to come up and play for Celtic. So do you think that people from England just come up here though to say, well, we'll go up there and we'll make money and we'll go back down the road to a bigger club and we'll own bigger money as well? By the way, I'll let you answer that one, and then I'll come back in with my next point I was going to make about the new ownership at Hibs, because Hibs could be a bit worried as well. But Graham, what do you think of that comment? That makes
two words before you answer, Graham. Joey Barton. Anyway.
Yeah, and I'll give you another example as well, although he's not English. But Hearts had a guy called Glenn Whelan who played in the Premiership. He came to Hearts and he was awful. He was dreadful. I think English people come up here late in their career and think, this will be easy. I'll retire here, it'll be quite easy. And I don't think they understand how passionate Scottish fans are. Listen, I like the English Premiership as a Liverpool fan. But let's be honest, it's very much money orientated. They don't have the passion there. Some clubs do, like teams like Liverpool and that do. Teams like Man City, teams like Man City are built on money. They're built on that oil money. They don't have that fan base. How many of those fan base at Man City are actually Man City fans? They've come in because new owners have come in. They're glory hunters. Up here in Scotland, you don't get that. We're passionate.
Well, Grim, don't forget, Man City went away for 2 weeks to play in that World Club tournament, and now they're saying they're the greatest club in the world. But that's all to do with money, Grim. It's nothing to do with football.
Exactly, and that's the problem. I mean, older enthusiast here, who I know who that is, because he follows me on TikTok. I reckon Warnock was brought in to try and bring more relevance to Aberdeen and Scottish football. He was never the right choice for them. I mean, I said at the time, I thought it was a good choice because of the experience he's got. But like I said, he's come up here and taken it like a holiday. He doesn't care about Aberdeen. As Stephen said, his contract's till the end of the season. He's going to go back wherever he wants to go. He might retire, who knows. He doesn't care about Aberdeen. The Aberdeen fans are looking at this team going, where are we going here? Because we're not downward spiral, like Paul said. Neil Warnock, for me, doesn't care. Now, he's come out a couple of days, I think it was yesterday or something, in his press conference and said, look, I'm going to try my best to get us out of this. Well, what are you doing to try and get that right? Because you've got St Mirren tomorrow, which is a very difficult game going to Paisley. Like I said, Majowski's not scored in the last 4 games. They look a really poor side. They can't defend. They're losing too many goals. And right now, I mean, I heard somebody on the radio a couple of days ago saying, should Neil Warnock get sacked? Are you really going to sack him with 12 games to go? I don't think so. But right now, it's not working. And it feels to me like he doesn't understand, like I said, what Aberdeen's all about. And they look a really poor side just now. I genuinely think, I never thought I'd say this, but I genuinely think Aberdeen could be in relegation trouble this season, which is why I put the tagline there. They could be in serious trouble this season if they don't turn it around.
It's the comments as well of when he's bigging up Rangers and talking about how great Rangers was, how much he was looking forward to going out. If you know anything about history, you just don't even touch that as an Aberdeen manager. You don't even entertain it. Yeah. But you don't even entertain it as any manager. But there's 2 clubs in particular that you don't touch it, and it's Celtic and Aberdeen. You just do not even enter any compliment towards Rangers at all. So it just seems like he's up here because he's one last crack at it, a couple of months, brilliant. He's already get properties up in Scotland, didn't he? So he's just like, it's easy for me, and then sail off into the sunset.
Well,
I mean, I know this will be a sore point for Stephen. But look back at a few weeks ago, Motherwell, and I watched that game. We're 3-0 up at Pittodrie, and I thought Motherwell were going to absolutely hammer Aberdeen. They managed to get back in it. Motherwell made a few defensive mistakes there, but for that first half an hour or something, Motherwell were outstanding and should have absolutely hammered Aberdeen. They got off with that. Aberdeen were very fortunate not to lose that game. They should have lost that game quite comfortably.
PTSD talking about it. Can we move on, please, Mike?
But a lot of people, Stephen, forgets about what Neil Warnock said weeks ago, and I think it was at our very first press conference before they went to Ibrox. He says, I've always wanted to manage in Scotland, and now you're saying, well, why did you not come up here years ago then? So now your point is valid, Stephen, because he wanted to make millions of money down south first and then come up to Scotland to basically maybe finish his football career and get peanuts from Aberdeen.
Yeah, there's no drive, and that will transfer on to the players. Majowski, he looks a different player. Maybe he's been staffed the opportunity, but it's not good. I mean, I cannot imagine Aberdeen in the Championship. I cannot imagine that, but that is a serious possibility. It's crazy. It's crazy that a club like Aberdeen can even enter this discussion. It shouldn't be happening, and I'm sure Aberdeen fans will be just wanting the end of the season to come, and maybe even as Paul's alluded to, the end of the current board. I would promote Alan Burrows, and I know Paul might not like that. They know if look in, but I know what Alan Burrows can do. As when he was there at Motherwell, his communications first class. I think he's got really good ideas, and I think a younger head perhaps than Cormac to take Aberdeen forward.
I want to ask Paul if you're still watching, by the way, Paul. But that interview that Dave Cormack did on BBC One and what you would say crocodile tears.
I remember that.
Yeah, do you think that was for the cameras or because I don't think he was serious at all? I think he was trying to get the fans back on side as well. Just a quick one, Graham, before we go back on to the Aberdeen game tomorrow. See how a guy from Canada is coming in to buy Hibs from the
Foley, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think the Hibs fan? I know what you're going to see here as a jambo, but do you think the Hibs fan would be a bit feared because do you think he's coming in to use it as a kind of cash cow?
The question I would ask now, he's obviously played money into Bournemouth, I think it is. The question I would ask is, why Hibs? Why is he looking at Hibs? Now, I've heard a few folks saying he was trying to get into Hearts and the Hearts told him to bolt. I don't know if that's true or not. But why is he looking to invest into Hibs? Now, listen, Hibs fans will be excited. I know they are, because I've had numerous fans on my TikTok going, I'm delighted with that. Fine. I've always said that if you want to challenge the top two, you need big investment. Now, I don't think it's even that big. It's minority investment. I don't know how much he's going to put into Hibs, but they've got to get the signings right come the summer. Now, I've said already, I think Hibs have actually done well in the January window. Marcondes and Malouda, for me, look very, very impressive. If they can carry that on in the summer, then Hibs could have a decent season next season. But my question would be, why is he investing in Hibs? That would be the one question I would ask. Why is he investing in Hibs?
Maybe he thinks Hibs is a basketball team. I'm not sure. But anyway, let's come back to Hibs in a minute. So it's a very difficult game again for Aberdeen tomorrow. It feels funny, Stephen saying about Aberdeen relegation because if memory serves me right, they have never been in the championship, and I'm sorry for saying that, Paul, but it's just weird to say that Aberdeen is at the bottom of the table playing against Livingston, St Johnstone, and Ross County for their safety. It's just weird.
It's weird, but it's through lack of results.
But it's true, yeah.
The table don't lie. It doesn't lie. So they are where they are. I do think though that if you've got a goal scorer in your squad, then you'll be all right. If you're and they have. So do I think Aberdeen will finish below Ross County? No. Do I think Aberdeen can finish 10th? Yes. Absolutely.
That would still be a disaster.
It would be terrible, but I don't think that they finish below Ross County. I've not seen enough for Ross County to suggest that they would be able to finish above Aberdeen. And regarding Ross County, I asked Graham this question in the group chat, but I don't think he's seen it. You have signed Jan Danda. Now, we've got a player at a contract at the end of the summer in Blair Spittle. Yeah, who would you take it to?
I mean, to be honest, I'd probably take both. But I've been a big fan of Danda for a long time. I've always rated him. I know I have to be. It's the summer, but no, I think both are really good players. But I've been a big fan of Danda for a long time, and Ross knows that as well. I think he's class. Don't get me wrong. I think Blair Spittle's a really good player, but I think Danda might just offer that bit more creativity to us. But if we can get them both, I would step the hand off for it.
Paul,
we start 19 goals and 20 goal contributions. 11 goals and 8 assists in 28 games of Blair Spittle this season. Fantastic.
Paul Donaldson.
Okay, I'm taking Spittle.
Paul Donaldson says on Facebook, to answer your question, Stephen, I think Alan Burrows speaks well, but we haven't heard anything from him or any of the rest of the board during the current crisis at the club. That goes similar to most of the clubs in the Premiership, actually. And Reno says on YouTube, some St Mirren fans are feeling a bit nervous for tomorrow's game against Aberdeen. I'm sorry to say this, but I thought St Mirren were very, very lucky to get a point there on it. I thought they were
Thank
very,
God they
very
did.
poor. But I mean, I think the winners of the midweek games was St Johnson, Graham. If you look at all the scores, but I mean, what's happening to St Mirren? I don't think they were the same team as last season.
No, I mean, just a couple of points. I think Paul's right. You know, it's funny how board members and that are very quiet when things aren't going well, but when things are going well, they're all over Twitter, they're all over social media saying how good we are. But the minute things go wrong, they are very silent. But it happens at every club. Listen, I think St Mirren have been, again, a bit up and down. I know you were saying they were a bit lucky on Tuesday, and maybe they were, but, and again, I'm going to go on it again, they should have had a penalty. Because how that Ryan Leake is not given a handball is ridiculous. It's one of the most blatant penalties you'll see all season, and yet it doesn't get given. And I think there's been an apology, apparently, by another apology. I mean,
sorry.
the guy's, Ryan Leake's hand is up. It clearly hits his hand. How it's not a penalty, I do not understand that. And yet again, but it's fine. They've only made 4 errors. It's fine. Nothing to worry about. Give me a break. It's ridiculous. If St Mirren get that and score, on you go.
I think there was 4 errors in one match card this midweek. Genuinely.
Oh, no, there was. I mean, honestly, if St Mirren get that, and I think they win the game, to be honest, it's a ridiculous decision.
No.
But I mean, St Mirren are still in a decent position. You know, they're sitting 5th. I think tomorrow will be a game they're looking forward to against a really poor Aberdeen side. I know what Ashley said there earlier on, but I generally think St Mirren have got quality in their side. And again, it'll come down to the first goal. If St Mirren get the first goal, I think Aberdeen will collapse, to be honest. I genuinely do. I actually fancy St Mirren for this. I really do, because Aberdeen are in such poor form. I think St Mirren might just sneak this.
Graham, I've been told off. I have been told off for once in my life. And capital letters as well, by the way. I mean, if I can open my window in the house, I think I can hear you. It says, no, they weren't lucky, Michael. No. I think I get your point now. Thanks for commenting and good night. No, thanks for watching. Keep your comments coming in. Stephen, your thoughts on this game tomorrow? It's a big game. It's a business. What you would say, it's a business end of the season, and I think I would go as far as saying this is a 6-pointer tomorrow.
Well, I tell you what, I get to this point in the season every year, and I just feel like after the Scottish Cup fixtures, the season flies in. That first round when everybody's in it, everybody for the Premiership's in it, it just flies in, and we're only 5 games out from the split. It's crazy. St Mirren, you've got to fancy St Mirren at home. Yeah, you really do. I mean, they won against St Johnson there, and they get the point against Ross County. I know, as we know, saying that it should have been more than the 1, and it should have been that was a Stonewall penalty kick that covered that. But no, you fancy St Mirren. Aberdeen are honking at the minute, and I don't think the manager's comments are helping them. So St Mirren win for me. St Mirren 3, Aberdeen 0. There you go.
Here's a question for you guys, right? And the guys in the chat. A genuine question I'm going to ask you, right? Do you guys, Michael and Stephen, and you guys in the chat, do you guys like the split? Because I generally don't.
It depends where you are. See, if you're looking where you're going to be with Motherwell, you're in that land of nothing can happen but finish best of the rest. If you finish bottom 6, and I just give up on the season by that point.
Was there not one season, Graham, that a team finished 6th had more points than the team that finished 5th?
Yeah, it's happened a few times.
Yeah,
I've never liked the split. I just don't think it's a great idea, and I've never liked it. So I'm just wondering if everyone else thinks the same, or if you actually quite like the split, because I genuinely don't like it.
I don't. I mean, I genuinely don't like playing teams 4 times a season more than the split. But I think what I would do, I'd have a league of 16. and I would play each team twice and then split it, so you'd only lose in one game a season.
I mean, I like it for the fact that the bottom two played each other. Maybe not in the last game, the last game of the season, but that they come up to that in the bottom six. But apart from that, I don't like it at all. No.
Can I just say, sorry, Michael, that there's been a decision made before we came on air that the top 6 games, the last day of the season, will be played on the Saturday. So the league will be decided on the Saturday, and the bottom 6 will be played on the Sunday. That's come out today.
Is that not?
Yeah, the guys in the chat. The guys in the chat don't like it either. Hashbury Symbol says no to the split. Paul Donaldson don't like the split at all. I'd like to see the league expanded to 18 teams. I've said that before as well. They should have done that ages ago. McGregor also said, I don't think we need the split. I mean, I don't know many Scottish football fans that actually like the split. I think it's a really poor idea.
I mean, it's not for the TV anyway, because they don't bother. The TV doesn't bother the backside about Scottish football at the best of times anyway. Never mind.
It's just to get an extra Old Firm game in.
Well,
actually, you've annoyed me now by saying that, right? Because, and I'm going to get my high horses because I said it before, but genuinely, right now, they will never ever not show all the Old Firm games, and I get that. It's the big show in town. I get that.
Yeah.
But Hearts against Hibs is probably the second biggest game in Scotland, and yet again, it doesn't get shown. Now, I know that people say
it's massive.
No, I know, but I mean, generally, there was a while, there was a thing ages ago, right, that every Edinburgh Derby was shown on TV. Now, don't get me wrong, they're not always great games, but it's still a massive occasion. I cannot get my head around the fact that yet again on Wednesday, the Edinburgh Derby was not on Sky. Now, don't get me wrong, again, wasn't a great game. Fair play to Motherwell, they won. But Hearts Hibs is a massive, massive game. I cannot get my head around the fact that that game is not shown on Sky every time it's on. It's an absolute joke. And I've said it before, I'll keep saying it.
Graham, there are two chances to show that game, Tuesday or the Wednesday. And by the way, Stephen, in answer to your point, I know you're biased, right? And I can understand it, right? Because Graham and myself would be biased as well. But would you not say if they were going to show that game, they'd be as well showing that game at Fir Park, not at Livingston?
I'm only kidding. I mean, but I mean for the fans, because obviously I saw the highlights and there was nobody there. Okay, there was a big band of Murrow fans, but anyway, the game would be suited more to Fir Park than at Livingston's Park. You could argue that, and I think the Edinburgh Derby should have been on TV. There's another game that should have been on TV even before Livy another one, Kelly Rangers. It would have been a better game as well. But listen, I think the Edinburgh Derby should have been. It's a spectacle because it's the only derby in Scotland where you get a sellout now, and you get the fans, the away fans behind the goal. The Old Firm Derby's deprived us of that. You get that spectacle. You get that atmosphere that I think you miss for the Old Firm game now with the full houses being for one side. Should have been on television. I'm not going to be that biased. It should have been, but
you've got to remember.
But it's a contract, Michael. It's a contract. That's the issue.
I know, but you've got to remember, Stevens, Sky Sports were using Scottish football the other night because, I turned it on to BBC One. There was a game there on the FA Cup. There was a game on STV, and that's, by the way, that's Scottish TV, and they were showing the FA Cup. When have you saw two games from Scotland on Sky at the same time?
Yeah, I actually think, and don't get me wrong, this is a good thing, right? I'm promoting this. I actually think they've shown more Hearts Hibs women's games on Sky than they have the actual men's derby game. Genuinely, there was a time years and years ago that every Edinburgh derby and every Glasgow derby was shown on TV, and then that stopped. And I get why they show the Celtic Raiders games. That's always going to happen because they're the big game. But they showed the Hibs Hearts game at Easter Road, the last game that Hearts won 1-0 through Lawrence Shankland. Mm-hmm. They should be having a contract that shows every derby game. It's ridiculous that they don't have that contract because I can still watch it I pay for the pay-per-view, which is fine, but other folk can't do that. So if you can't get to the Hearts Hibs game and you've got to try and pay for it, that should be shown on Sky. It should be shown every single time it's on. And it's an absolute joke that it's not getting shown. And I'm going to get on my high horse now because I was raging about that on Wednesday.
I would like to see them do that in the contract, right? Where they have then all the Edinburgh derbies, all the Old Firm derbies, that's fine, even Rangers, Aberdeen, the big games. But there's some weekends where, and no disrespect to these clubs, right? Where Rangers are away to Livingston or Celtic are away to Ross County. And then you'll have the likes of Hearts playing Aberdeen, Hibs playing Aberdeen, Motherwell playing Aberdeen. I'd like to see some of these games on TV as well, rather than. And I get it. You can make up for it. You can make up for it in the sense where, see if there's a 6-pointer that Ross County are involved in or Livingston are involved in, put it on telly. Because every club has the right to be on TV through the contract. I just think watching Celtic and Rangers batter teams every Sunday away from home is boring. You want the games to be close. You want to see the likes of Hibs, Motherwell, Hearts, Aberdeen, they kind of have games on TV more often.
It's not just that though, and I'm sorry, Michael, but it's not just that. It's also the Scottish Cup games as well. And again, I know I get it. Celtic and Rangers are the two biggest teams. I get that, but yet again, Viaplay always show the Celtic games and the Rangers games, no matter who they're playing. It could be Celtic against Bonnyrigg Rose, and that'll get shown live. Why are they doing that? I mean, generally, who's going to watch that? Generally,
and the quality of the company is honking. Sorry.
Exactly. I know Michael spoke about this before, and we'll probably talk about it again, but the TV deal that we get in Scotland is brutal. Genuinely brutal.
And see when, before we move on to Dundee against Kilmarnock, I was just going to pick up on a point that you make about the women's football game, Graham. And I know Sky Sports is promoting one game a season, but it's actually a kick in the teeth to the women's game because they just showed you 3 games for one season. Compare that to England, where you get 2 games a weekend on Sky. You get a game on BBC as well. So but we'll come back to this another time because
this is what annoys me, right? Because I've actually seen it before. So obviously Sky Sports have got a few different channels, but they actually do have like a Sky Sports football thing on. I think it's 403 now. On a Sunday, Sky Sports promote their English channel with a Super Sunday. Scottish football should do that as well, but we don't do it. We never do it. It's a joke how bad we are at promoting our game. It really is brutal.
BT Sport were the best that have ever covered the Scottish game. There you go.
No, but BT Sports would come back. I mean, Graham, you're a big Liverpool fan, right? You were watching the game on Sunday at half time. They showed you the game that's coming up. You tell me if they told you, and coming up this week on Sky, we've got 2 games from the Premiership.
I know, and again, something I spoke about numerous times as well, and we'll probably go back to it. I know I'm wasting time here, but I'm on my soapbox now, but I keep talking about it, right? Yeah. And it's a big frustration that I've got because, no, it's not VAR. It is, again, I'm going to keep talking about this, right? It is the fact that, again, we don't promote what we do on this show, but we don't promote the lower leagues. We don't have a specified channel for Championship, League One, and League Two. So nobody would watch. Like, look at last week, for example, right? Stennismuir, top of League Two, got hammered by Clyde 6-1, who are bottom of the league. Do we see the goals in that game? No. We don't promote the lower leagues. Yet look at English football. They've got Match of the Day on Channel 1, and then on one of the other channels, they show all the highlights of all the games, but we don't do that. We've got our own channel. We've got our own specific BBC Scotland channel, and they don't show the highlights of these games. It is a joke how bad we are at promoting Scottish football.
And you can always watch the Antiques Roadshow, but...
And that was a political broadcast by Graham Duffy.
I'm on it.
He's now standing for the pie party at the next general election outside this house. Okay, so Dundee against Kilmarnock. Stephen, both teams, well, Kilmarnock had a wee go at Rangers, they get beat. But Dundee, do you think they'll bounce back after that 7-1 defeat in midweek. Okay, they're at home. And also it's the Friends year, the United Derby, Tommy Docherty, seeing his old chum again, Derek McInnes, and I wonder if they'll go out for a kebab after the game. So anyway, Dundee against Kilmarnock, Stephen.
I mean, Kelly have only had one loss in the last 7 games, so you make them favourites. I think that they're really hitting their form at the right end of the season. But if you're Dundee, you'll need a reaction. There has to be going and getting beat 7-1 of a Celtic. But I just wonder what that'll do for their confidence, particularly defensively.
By the way, sorry, Stephen. Sorry to interrupt you. Do you see Graham? His mouth fell off the horse or fell off the soapbox.
I'm just waiting on the Undertaker appearing. There he's there. He's there. But no, Dundee will be expecting a reaction, and they need it. They need it because I think they're kind of a slipping a wee bit. And it's two teams that are very, very, very close in the league. In terms of squads, but Dundee have lost their last 2 now, one against Hibs and the hammer at the Celtic, so they need a performance. It's a must.
Graham, I might actually vote with Greg over this comment, but do you feel as though Dundee is overachieving this season?
Can't believe this game's not on telly. I'm not going to that. I'm not going to that again. I think probably. I think when you come up from the Championship, your probably main aim is to stay in the league, and they've done that quite comfortably. I think they've been excellent this season. Obviously, Wednesday was a massive, massive disappointment, but they've got to get back on track. And against that really good Kilmarnock side, it's going to be very difficult. It's probably not a game you're overly confident about because Kilmarnock have been very good. But you know what? The fact they're at home might help them. They've got to bounce back. But I think Dundee have been excellent this season. I still think they'll finish top 6. I genuinely do. I think they've got a great chance to finish in top 6. But Wednesday was a massive disappointment. The goals they lost would have been a concern. It's not like Celtic, they put a lot of balls in the box and Dundee just didn't deal with it. Tomorrow, I think it'll be exactly the same. You've got Danny Armstrong on one side, Kennedy on the other side, firing in crosses. They've got to deal with that a lot better than they did on Wednesday. So I think it's a tough game, but you know what? I actually think Kilmarnock will probably win this. But it'll be a difficult game. It will be a difficult game, but I do think Kilmarnock will probably just sneak this one.
Do you think I'm only kidding on, Greg, or do you think the game will be on, or do you think there'll be a pitch inspection?
I don't know. It depends if somebody sprays when they speak. There might be a pitch inspection.
Yeah.
The game will be fine.
Maybe that was a joke, Greg. Right? I fell out with somebody, and I don't want to fall out with somebody else tonight on the show.
Nah.
And that's not Graham. But anyway.
But heading towards the lighter nights now, aren't we? So the pitch at Dundee will be fine. But they need a performance because we're on the coattails. So here's hoping for a Kelly on to keep us in the hunt of the top 6 place. Because by the way, in April, I'm going to just earmark a wee game for you on the 6th of April, the penultimate game before the split. Dundee play Motherwell at Dens. And I think that could be a decider.
On Sky?
6th place. No on BBC Scotland either. No on BBC Alba. No anywhere.
Do you think this game will be a high-scoring game, Stephen? I won't come to Graham on that one because they always curse the game. They are sometimes, but
My problem is I always look at games on paper, and I would say that this would be tight. But it could be a high-scoring game. I think there was there not a 2-2 between the sides this season, if I'm right in saying. So. There's history there, but I think it'll be a good one. But I'm going to put my neck out in the line, and sorry, Gregor, I'm going Kilmarnock 2, Dundee 1.
Oh, Let's move on now to Graham's second team in Edinburgh. No, it's not.
This is
Spartans.
joke of the week, didn't he?
It's just the same thing every time.
Well, I've got no, I can't say that one. I've got Alzheimer's. Anyway, Hibs. I just say it very quickly there, just in case people never heard me. Yeah, Stephen's turning the ceiling is up there. That's what I like to see, boy. Hibs against Ross County. Graham, do you think Hibs will be a bit disappointed about getting a point out of that game on Wednesday night, or do you think they'll be happy enough to take a point back to Easter Road?
Come on, Ross County, do me a favour. Nah, they'll be disappointed to take a point. I suppose at the start of the game they might have thought, do you know what, a point against a third place team isn't a bad result, but given how well they played, the chances they missed, they'd be gutted not to be going back with 3 points, and obviously the penalty that they got given against them was a massive blow. So they'll be looking at that as kind of probably 2 points dropped. But they're at home tomorrow, which is a big help. They are decent at home against the Ross County side who, again, you don't know what to expect from them 1 week to another. They could be all right, they could be really poor. But I think it's a game that Hibs will win tomorrow, to be honest. Now, obviously, County got the draw at home against St Mirren, but they are still in dangerous trouble at relegation. They are 7 points ahead of Livingston, though, who look down. But I think it's a game that Hibs will look at tomorrow, and if they can take their chances, they should win quite comfortably. Like I said, I have been impressed with the guy Maludo up front. I think he looks really quality. So I think Hibs will have more than enough to win that game tomorrow, but they've got to take the chances when they come along. I mean, we talk about Aberdeen being in the bottom six. Hibs are still bottom six team just now. They should not be in that position, but that's where they are. So tomorrow's a big game for them as well.
Stephen?
Yeah, I think that Hibs will be getting into this knowing that they need to win if they've got any chance of getting in the top six. If you can't win, no disrespect to County, but if you can't win a game at home to a side in the form that Ross County are in, 1 win in the last 12, and that came at home to Livingston, and they just edged it, then you don't deserve to be anywhere near the top six, and particularly coming off the back of a good performance in the Edinburgh Derby at Tynecastle, they have to be looking to really put down a marker tomorrow and put a couple of goals back past County. But hopefully, I didn't think I would be saying this from a Motherwell point of view, County can get a result because we are only a point behind the Ibis. So, I think Hibs will win though. I'm going to go for Hibs to win quite convincingly actually. Hibs 4, Ross County 0.
Oh, and I know it's got early days yet, Graham. There's a lot of cup finals before the split and all that, but do you think Ross County will be safe this season, or do you think they'll be in the playoffs?
I think it's really tight. You know, they're not that far off St Johnstone and Aberdeen, but they've got to start picking up results. I don't see it happening tomorrow, but there are still games to go, and they know that they're going to be playing teams around them when that split comes. But at the moment, I'm not sure. I think they could be in that bottom two, but they've got to start picking up results. I don't see them picking up anything tomorrow. Obviously, after the Scottish Cup game next week, Hearts play Ross County away from home. Dingwall's a tough place to go, but it's the game that I expect Hearts to get 3 points from. So I think Ross County may still be in that 10th, that 11th place. But you know what? I didn't expect St Johnstone to go to Pittodrie and get 3 points. Ross County could do that tomorrow against Hibs. I don't see it, but you just never know.
And Graham leads us on nicely to the last game. I think the winners of the bottom six on Wednesday night was St Johnstone, Graham, because who thought St Johnstone would go up to Aberdeen and beat them? So I know I said to Stephen early on in the show, one of the games, I can't remember what side now, was a 6-pointer, but this game could be a 9-pointer tomorrow. It's that big between St Johnstone and Livingston.
Yeah, absolutely. St Johnstone will take massive confidence on Wednesday night. If they don't, then there's something wrong. Brilliant performance from the Caribbean side. They thoroughly deserve to win. The lad of Kempioka up front, who I said to Alistair last week, I'm really impressed by. He looks a really good player. Nicky Clark obviously gets his goal. He defended really well. St Johnstone could have won that game by a few more. So that's got to be a positive. They're at home tomorrow. I know Levine wasn't happy with the performance last weekend, and they put that right. And I expect them to beat Livingston. You know, Livingston on Wednesday night had to beat Motherwell. They didn't. I think Livingston are, I've said it before, they are going down. They're 7 points behind. I don't see them catching that up. They concede too many goals. They don't score enough, although I do think the lad Tete Yengi up front does look a decent player. But I think they're down. Tomorrow is a massive, massive game. I don't think it'll be a classic. And I don't think that McDermott Park pitch, given what happened at the Rangers game, it doesn't look a great pitch. But I do expect St Johnstone to have more than enough to beat a very, very poor Livingston side.
Stephen?
I agree with Graham's assessment. I think St Johnstone, the big thing for them is a clean sheet at Pittodrie, as well as the win, keep a clean sheet. And at earmarked 3 games for Livingston with a run of fixtures a few weeks ago. And it was the Ross County game, the Motherwell game, and this one tomorrow. Now, they've already lost the first 2. And if they lose tomorrow, bye-bye. See you later. You're finished. And I just want to ask Graham what he makes of Brian Rice being sent out for the post-match interview after the Motherwell game on Wednesday night. Let's find it, Davey. Maybe Davey's fed up of talking about budgets. What do you think?
I've seen it happen before where they send out assistants, but clearly David Martindale wasn't happy, which is fine. You know, it's his prerogative if he wants to send an assistant out. Maybe Livingston fans wouldn't have been very happy because of that, but I don't think there's a major issue, actually. And actually, you've reminded me of something as well. Now, I don't have a massive problem with Brendan Rodgers. I think he's a decent manager. But I think that whole thing with Jane Lewis, where he called her a good girl on that, was blown way out of proportion. I don't know why folk were getting so upset about what he said in that interview. Now, to be fair to Jane Lewis, she handled it very well. So did Brendan Rodgers. He explained the thing after that. I just think that folk at times look for things that aren't there. And I kind of agree with Brendan Rodgers' assessment of it as well. I think folk tend to look for things to show people in a bad light. I don't think there's anything wrong with that comment. He's explained it. Jane Lewis has explained it. But I just think folk are just they're looking for things that aren't there. So I think that was quite poor of folk to say that, to be honest. Because I don't think Rodgers did anything wrong with that.
I agree.
Stephen, I don't know about you, but I mean, Graham's got a bean born at the night, hasn't he?
No.
Is they not getting his dinner or something after the show?
He doesn't start calling me good girl.
I'm starving.
Right? But no, I think he's spot on. I think that people we live in a generation where, particularly social media, people just look for things to be offended by, look for something to jump on. He's evidently not happy with the line of question, and he's just said, "Okay, good girl." He got out there as quick as he can because he's uncomfortable. It's fine. There was no offence meant by it. But in the world that we live in, people will look to take offence at everything. So that's what happened. But I'm glad that Jane Lewis came out and said it's absolutely fine. Nothing wrong with the comments. I'm glad that Brendan kind of had backed himself in the press conference rather than saying I'm sorry. Because I don't think he had anything to apologise for. And yet, move on.
Move on and talk about the game, St Johnstone and Livingston tomorrow, Graham. Do you think that St Johnstone will be more confident because the game's at home? And listen, I mean, I saw the game the other week against Rangers. I mean, I don't know what's going on with that park up at McDermott Park, but I mean, what was that about?
Yeah, it didn't look great, did it? It was a bit of a tatty field, to be honest. It didn't look great. I mean, Rangers managed to get the job done in that game, but it doesn't look a great pitch. I know we're getting towards the kind of end of the season. Pitch is kind of cut up a little bit, but that McDermott Park pitch does not look good. Now, whether it's a leveller, I genuinely don't know. But I think St Johnstone will have more than enough to win. Like I said, I think Kim Pioka looks really good. Nicky Clark's back among the goals. It's a big game for both teams tomorrow. Because if St Johnstone can win that game, they can pull themselves a bit further clear of Ross County. So it's a big game for both teams tomorrow, but it's a bigger game for Livingston. Games are running out, time's running out. They have got to start winning games. Now, I said it before, if they go down, which looks like they're going to, is David Martindale going to say, right, do you know what? I've taken us down, they're going to try and bring us up again? I don't know if he will or not. But Livingston, the thing is, every season, David Martindale says the main aim is to stay in the league. And to be fair, they have done that. But this season, they have looked really, really poor and look like they are going to go down this season. And yeah, I think tomorrow's a big game. If they lose that, I agree with Stephen. I think you can write them off already. I think they're going to go down. I just don't see enough quality in their team. And the worrying thing for Livingston fans as well is, come the summer, I would imagine that probably a large percentage of that side will leave. And then who do you bring in? And as I've said numerous times on this show as well, if you go down, it is going to be very hard to come back up because that championship is very difficult to get out of.
But it all goes back to money, Stephen, that we were talking about early on. And Stephen, Livingston do not have money.
Yeah, they don't have money. I don't think they're an attractive proposition for players due to the lack of fan base. Now, I'm no one for bashing fan bases. Fair play to everybody that goes to Livingston that is a Livingston supporter. It isn't a slight on them, but it's not an attractive proposition for any manager, for any player. And we've seen how difficult it can be for sides like Hibs to get back up, Dundee United in the past, Dundee. So, and they're bigger clubs than what Livingston are. I think Livingston could go on a similar trajectory to Hamilton, to be honest, if they go down. Would they go down again? Maybe not right away, but certainly in a few seasons if they don't get right back up. So, because obviously you still get a parachute payment, I believe, and I know it's nowhere near what clubs in England get, but I'm sure you still get that here. So, listen, I worry for Livingston if they go down, because I don't see them getting back up anytime soon.
I said this a few weeks ago, Stephen. I don't know if you were on, but would you agree with me that if Livingston goes down this season, they will go part-time?
Yeah,
they could. They shouldn't before.
And do you think that they'll... I know that the 3G mugger or, call it what you will, I know Kamark's going to rip it up next season. But if Livingston goes down next season, will they keep that to generate money?
They're going to keep that. They're going to keep that as long as they're in existence, I think. I don't think that Livy are anywhere near as financially stable as what Kelly are. They don't have anywhere near the fan base that Kelly do. So the plastic pitch for clubs like Livy is huge. And I can completely understand it from Livingston point of view, by the way, why they have it. Because it's a cost cutter for them in the long run, so it makes complete sense. But Livingston, they're sliding very, very quickly, and it's going to be a really, really good league next year, I think, particularly if you get the likes of United up, potentially even Rafe. I don't know. Now, in terms of just fan bases and spectacles, I would trade Ross County and Livingston for Rafe Rovers and Dundee United right now.
Yeah, fair point. That's a good point. Yeah. Graham asked for us at Johnson, what's happened to them? Because Craig Levine, he get a honeymoon period in football, and he's had a honeymoon period. It came and gone. They get knocked out of the Scottish Cup by Airdrie, and basically the fuels just came off the bus. So what's happened there?
They've had injuries, as every team does, but again, they just haven't had that consistency that every team's looking for. They maybe lose one week, then win the next week. They just don't have that consistency. But to go to Pittodrie and win quite comfortably as well, which is a worry for Aberdeen fans, they've got to take confidence from that. But I think for me, they've got to win the home games. If you're a team like St Johnstone, you've got to win your home games. And this is a game that we're looking at tomorrow. And I'm pretty sure that Levine will be thinking, right, this has got to be 3 points here. We're against a poor Livingston side. We can get ourselves a bit further up the league, win this game, and don't worry about what's happening around us. They have to be winning this game tomorrow. I mean, I know that, again, last week I heard Michael Stewart, who doesn't like Craig Levine, We talk about how poor Levine is at management, which I don't agree with. I think he's a good manager. He's maybe not got the best out of that St Johnstone squad just now, but I think they will. I think they'll be all right this season. I don't think they'll go down. I think they'll probably finish around 10th, 9th or 10th. I think it'll be between that, maybe Aberdeen and Ross County for that 11th place. But tomorrow's a big game for them. They have to win that game tomorrow, and I do expect them to, because Livingston are just such a poor side. I mean, they've got a couple of decent players. I think James Penrith is a decent player at left back. Nubla again is a decent player, but doesn't score enough goals. They just don't have a decent enough squad there, and it is a big worry for them. And as Stephen rightly said, if they go down, I don't know if they'll come back up. They just look a really poor side.
I'm going to give you an opinion. Sorry, Michael. We're getting these interjections not quite right tonight. But
it's not it's because they're not in the studio yet. I can't see you, but it's okay.
But no, I'll give you an opinion right now. I think Craig Levine's a great short-term fix. Longer term, I think things start to go stale under Craig Levine. I don't know if you've seen that at Hearts, Graham. But he's certainly going to sort St Johnstone out right now. Whether he's going to be there for years to come, I don't know. And would you on another question on my other point that I made in the last answer that I gave, would you take Dundee United and Raith Rovers over the two sides in the bottom two right now?
Yeah, I think I would, and I think there's every chance they could both come up. Because I think if one of them come up through one of them will come up, and I think the other one could come up through the playoff quite easily. Because I think they would actually fancy their chances against any of those teams at the bottom of the league. But I think with the Craig Levein thing, the problem for me is that Hearts, the second time round, he had too much power. And Budge trusted him far too much. He was there far, far too long. It was also a bad thing as well, that the fact that when we brought Daniel Stendhal on as manager, it was Craig Levein who showed them round, which was not a good thing. So I think Levein just had a bit too much power at Hearts. I like Aslino's comment there. Nubla is a great right back, which is where he's tended to play recently. I don't get that. Why would you play one of your main attackers at right back? I just don't get that.
Stephen, do you want to see Graham going back on his high horse? Because I have got a story here. It's just came out in the last half an hour, and you might be interested in this one as well. So get your comments coming in. So the UEFA president, the FIFA president is to attend, believe it or not, a meeting before the game tomorrow between St Mirren and Aberdeen, because, wait for this, guys, they're talking about not introducing a blue card into the game, but introducing a sin bin into the game, and it's going to be a trial period as well. So that's just come out half an hour ago. What's your comments on that, guys?
Stephen, on you go.
So they're not trying that tomorrow at the game, are they?
No.
He's just gone there to talk to people.
Yeah.
My opinion on the sin bin thing in general is, I'm going on my high horse as well here if I can get my leg that high. But anyway, it's a joke. It's an absolute joke, because there's already grey areas between sometimes yellow and red. You're then creating another grey area between what constitutes a yellow card and what constitutes a cynical foul and a sin bin. They're just looking to add stuff to the game that doesn't need to be added. Nobody's asking for the sin bin. There's nobody here going, oh, I'd love to see players getting the sin bin. No, I don't want it. We don't need it. Keep it away. Graham.
I know, Graham, I said to you last week about there's too many rules in football. It's going to be like American football. But when I hear sin bins, I don't know about you, but it reminds me about ice hockey.
Where do I even go with this? Seriously, they are just killing football. They can't even get the handball rule right, and then they want to bring in sin bins. Get a grip. I did a video about this. I did a video on TikTok about this ages ago, right? And I got a lot of views for it because I talked about the blue cards. It's ridiculous. Why are you trying to mess with football? Honestly, there are so many There are so many things wrong with football just now. VAR, for one of them. Handballs in football. The offside rule. Drawn the lines to try and make sure somebody's toes offside. And then they're not bringing sin bins. What is the point? This is not rugby. It is not ice hockey. You are killing the sport that we love. What's football all about? Entertainment. Scoring goals. Seeing your team win. It is not about sticking folk in sin bins for 10 minutes or whatever it is. It is an absolute embarrassment. They are killing football. Why are they trying to wreck something that doesn't need to be fixed? Honestly, it is just an absolute joke. Get it in the bin. Get it in the bin.
Scottish referees are already confused enough as it is with us.
Exactly.
We offered to come up these papers and it.
I said it earlier on, right? See, when they were talking about bringing in sin bins and bringing the blue card in, right? All you're going to get, if a player gets sent to the sin bin for 10 minutes, all you're going to get is the team that's got the 10 men are going to waste time at throw-ins, waste time at free kicks. They're going to put men behind the ball till the guy comes back on. And also, there was a thing I saw as well. I can't remember what it was, but there was a thing about the goalkeeper as well. If he gets sent to the sin bin, that he would then have to get taken off and bring a sub on. It's honestly, what is the point? Get it binned.
And next week there'll be a rule out for defenders when they jump for a corner kick. Please put your hands in your pockets as well. So that will be next week's rule as well. But anyway, let's talk about the real game. Yes, no any VAR in tonight's game, and that's what I like about the championship, guys. There's a big game on tonight, a bottom against the top. A bluff against Rays Rovers. It was funny, Graham, because when we won the show a few years ago, a few seasons ago actually, we fancied a bluff to win the championship, and they were only a game away for getting promoted. And now, again, the wheels just came off the bus, and they're fighting to stay in the championship. Meanwhile, Rays Rovers are favourites to go up in that league. So, big game for a bluff tonight in Skegger Race Rovers. Would that be fair, Graham?
Yeah, I kind of think the same with Livingston. I think our both are down. And it's a shame because when we did the show a while ago, we were talking about how great we beat a team in the Premier League with Dick Campbell in charge, and they've just fallen away, which I suppose was likely because they're a part-time team. It was going to happen, but they looked down. I think they got beat 6-0 by Queen's Park last week. Yeah. Again, a big blow, and I don't see them winning tonight. You know, Wraith are in decent form, sitting second. They're only behind on goal difference, so I don't see anything other than a Wraith win. It is a shame because I do like Arbroath, and it's a place I'd actually love to go to. Obviously, as long as Hearts don't get relegated by a couple of weeks. But I'd actually like to go to Gate Veronica, but a decent day out. But I just think they're looking real trouble, and I can't see anything other than a Wraith win tonight quite comfortably as well.
Let's run through the other games. Airdrie against Queen's Park, Glenfermot against Ayr. Big result for Ayr midweek. Morton against Inverness. And Dundee United is away to Packet Thistle tomorrow. Stephen, what's your thoughts on tonight's game? Arbroath against Rays Rovers, 8:15 kickoff.
I mean, I usually look forward to the championship games on a Friday, but I just don't think this one is a contest whatsoever. I think that you see the manner of the goals that Arbroath lose against Queen's Park as well. There was some very, very poor goals to lose in amongst that. And Wraith are flying. So, and just to touch on it, Graham, by the way, you won't want to go to Gayfield in January or February, by the way, because it is absolutely Baltic. Went up there a couple of seasons ago, I think it was for an Arbroath v Kelly game. When the two of them were going for the week to do a video for my YouTube channel, and the thumbnail was me with my face blue, absolutely freezing coldest stadium in the world.
So you were supporting Kilmarnock that night, Stephen?
Well, I just wanted the romance of
blue in the face.
Aye. I just wanted the romance of Arbroath coming up though. It would have been brilliant, but wasn't to be. But nah, unfortunately, I think that I agree with Graham. I think they're down. I think Wraith will be looking to add to the goal tower tonight and get a convincing victory.
Graham, what's your pick of the games tomorrow? There's a few big games coming up. I quite like the Packet Thistle Dundee United game.
Yeah, that's the game I was going to go to. I think that could be a cracking game of football. Again, I'm surprised that's maybe not the Friday tonight rather than a Brits
Here we
against
go
Raith Rovers,
again.
but
Here we go again,
fair enough.
Stephen. Here we go again. I
I want a roll here. But no,
Let's have Graham Duffy's TV schedule, right? What should be on TV?
I know we should do. We should.
EastEnders.
No, I didn't watch that. Mr. Brown's Boys is better. But no, I think Partick United is a decent tie. Should get a decent crowd for that game as well, but not for a hill. And again, United don't know tonight what they need to do tomorrow. But I think this title race is absolutely fantastic between Raith and United. It generally is. That win for Raith a couple weeks ago against United was massive. And I think that Partick United game, I generally can call that. I've been impressed with Partick this season. They are sitting third in the league. Still got an outside chance to get promoted, but that could be a cracking game. And again, the fact it's on a Saturday, the fact it'll be a decent crowd there, I think that could be a really good game of football.
Stephen, what's your game of the day? Yep.
It's got to be that one, but if you want me to go somewhere different, then I will go Airdrie v Queen's Park. Because Queen's Park are only 7 points off a playoff spot. Now, I don't know. I believe in momentum. And I think that if Queen's Park get another win tomorrow, I mean, Morton, they play at home at Inverness. So if Morton drop points and Queen's Park win, they're only 4 points then off a Morton, albeit Morton would get a game in hand. But I think Callum Davison done a great job if he's been in there. They've signed Chilly and Sheridan. They've got the boy Payton up front with them. They seem to be quite a good partnership. They've got wingers that can hurt teams in Dom Thomas and Stuart McKinstry, two ex-Motherwell boys. So I'll go that one. Here's hoping the ex-Motherwell boys can cause some Airdrie misery.
What do you think of Scott Brown's managing career so far? United, they pulled off a brilliant 3 points in midweek, but they're away tomorrow against Dunfermline, Grim.
Well, given how bad Dunfermline have been, I think Brown will fancy it. I think he's done well so far. Decent appointment. I think he's done really well. And I actually fancy Ayr to win that game. I think they look a decent side. Obviously, they went to Ibrox in the Cup. Nothing to lose. They competed really well. So I think he's done really well. And I generally think they will go there tomorrow with a lot of confidence. Dunfermline have been very, very poor. They've done a lot worse than I thought they would. I thought they would actually be up there challenging, and it's not happened. They've been very, very poor. So I think if you're Scott Brown and United, you look forward to this game. And Dunfermline haven't been great at home as well. So I think Ayr will fancy this tomorrow.
Yeah, Stephen, what about you?
I think they're kind of building a wee bit of momentum. I mean, they've been involved in a few ding-dongs in terms of games. I mean, there was a 3-2 away at Airdrie, and then a 4-3 at home to Thistle. Narrowly losing out against Raith in the game in between that. But no, Scott Brown's done. He's done reasonably well. He's been in there, and yeah, it's a perfect game. I mean, I know I've been talking about Queen's Park, but you look at it, they're 5 points behind Morton, so they're even closer. It's tight, and Scott Brown seems to have them playing well. It's a good league, the Championship, isn't it? It's probably my favourite out of all. Probably my favourite out of all the leagues. It's a Championship. It's always full of good games.
And there's no highlights anywhere. Yeah.
And Falkirk are hammering League One. I think they're still unbeaten in the league.
And there's another team that will add a fan base, big club kind of out of that league next season. You could have Falkirk and Dunfermline in the same league. You bit a derby there, so good.
You've just reminded me of something, Graham, and I forgot to mention this. One of our team is a big Falkirk fan, Alan Risk. He is down in England tonight, I think, and he is in a marathon. I think I'm not sure where. I'm not sure whereabouts in England it is. Yeah, Graham, can you remember? Because I
can't. I think he just said, but I can't mind.
All the best.
I should have paid more attention. Aye, well done, Alan. Good luck to you, mate.
Well done, even though it's not happened yet.
Although I do prefer Snickers to marathon.
No,
very good.
thank God we're getting towards the end of the day.
Just to give a wee quick plug, because it has to be some saying at the beginning of the show, we talking about the World Indoor Championships. Yes, we will give a wee nod to them, because I was at that event today. It was brilliant. If you get a chance, go down. It's at the Emirates Arena in Glasgow. You can find all the details on worldathletics.org.uk, and there's athletes from all over the world, Jamaica and Jamaica, remember that joke, and Africa and all the rest of it. So get down to the Emirates. It's on until Sunday. Talking about Sunday, we'll be back on Sunday. Did you like that link, Stephen? We'll be here on Sunday between 3 and 5 after the Hearts and Celtic game, and
Well, I might be.
all the games as well. And coming, Glenn will be behind his couch for the whole of the 97 minutes on Sunday. It's going to be brilliant. Have a good weekend. Thanks for all your comments. Thanks to Graham and what's your name? Oh, Stephen. Thanks for coming on the show as always. And we'll see you on Sunday.
See you guys.